Hey friends, you know what time it is? Let's go thrifting. Hey guys, it is Jen with Mother Time. Welcome back to my channel and welcome here if you are new. Today I'm gonna take you along as I hit some thrift stores, and in all honesty, I have already gone. So I filmed a week's worth of thrifting and I have quite the haul to share with you. But before I dive into the haul, I'm going to take you to the thrift stores and show you what I was spotting and what I was seeing and what treasures I was seeing out there. And I want to encourage you, because I hear from people all the time, oh, you get so lucky, I never find anything. Don't ever get discouraged. Let me tell you, and I mentioned this before, I think in my last video, that I hit like a little bit of a thrifting drought where I just was not, I was walking out empty-handed, and that happens. But the thing of it is just to keep at it and don't get discouraged, and go thrifting with the mindset that you're not going to find anything. So when you go and you find something, it's, you know, exciting. But there are just so many times, like I go thrifting and I walk out empty-handed. And even this past week, I've gone to thrift stores and I've walked out empty-handed, but I still had just tons of fun going and just seeing what was out there. And this year I'm being very selective at what I am getting. So there are some things that maybe in the past years I might have gotten just to get, but I'm just being super duper selective this year of what I'm getting. And that's also too, there are things that I probably would have gotten, you know, 2 years ago or something, but it's just being, you know, I have my mind on certain things that I'm looking for, and that's kind of what I'm sticking with, and just finding new treasures. So stick with it if you are thrifting and you're not having any luck, and you are bound to find a treasure at some point. Just keep at it, because it happens to all of us where we just go, we never find anything. It seems like for me, sometimes it's more often than not. But you know, this week, I don't want to say I hit the jackpot. Like I didn't find, well, the chair that I'm still looking for, and I didn't find like that big grand thing, but just lots of fun treasures that I ended up picking up. So I can't wait to show you. So grab yourself a hot cup of coffee or tea, because it is still a cold, wintry day here in Buffalo. It has been quite the winter. So I'm going to take you to the thrift stores, and then we'll head on back and I will show you everything I got. Before we get to thrifting, I would like to take a minute and kindly thank my friends at Seed for sponsoring today's video. If you are not familiar with Seed, Seed is on a mission to establish probiotics as a science, working with leading scientists and research partners from around the world to develop a scientifically validated and clinically studied probiotic for adults, teens, and adolescents. What makes Seed so different from others on the market? It's actually based on science. I take Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, so it's a 2-in-1 prebiotic and probiotic every morning. I love this product because it is formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strands for whole body benefits. It's a product, again, rooted in science, and I like being able to support my gut, skin, and heart health simply through 2 capsules a day. You can click on the link in this video description and use code MOTHERTIME25 for 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 plus free shipping. Seed's DS-01 is a 2-in-1, so you can take your daily probiotic and prebiotic at once. The prebiotic is a polyphenol source from pomegranate skin and is non-fermentive, so it's less likely to cause any kind of stomach discomfort compared to other prebiotics. Plus, Seed's DS-01 is a whole body experience, as it supports ease of bloating and healthy regularity, in addition to supporting heart health, and my skin is glowing. It is formulated with strands that have benefits going beyond gut health, like skin and heart health, and all 24 of these strands have been clinically or scientifically studied. The most important thing for me is to make sure that the probiotic strands actually make it to my gut alive. So the capsule in capsule ViaCap protects the bacteria from oxygen, moisture, and heat through shipping. And then it safeguards the bacteria's viability from stomach acid and even like bile salts. So they actually make it alive to my colon. After taking the DS-01 myself, I can honestly say it has changed my life and it is the best on the market. I've noticed the benefits of this product on my health and I feel so much better. I am truly impressed with DS-01. It is free of sugar, artificial colorants, and flavors and preservatives, and there's no refrigeration necessary. Not only do I love it, but I'm excited to share that Seed has finally come out with a kids probiotic. It is the PDS-08, which is a pediatric daily symbiotic for kids and teens ages 3 to 17. So my twins, who are 14, can take it too. I love that it's actually a powder, so it's easy to mix it into their smoothies, drinks, or even add it into soft foods. And I love that this product wasn't made with any kind of artificial flavors or added sugars. And it includes 5 grams of prebiotic fiber per serving, which is equivalent to a cup of broccoli. It's also free from the 14 classes of allergens such as gluten, peanuts, dairy, animal products, and more. A simple ingredients list and plenty of clinical data make me feel confident that I'm giving my kiddos a product that is safe and actually works. Unlike a lot of the other probiotics for kids, the PDS-08 was studied in a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial, meaning that they have data to back up their benefits like supporting healthy regularity. I cannot wait for you to try Seed 2. You can again click on the link in the video description and use code MOTHERTIME25 for 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 plus free shipping. And you can try this totally risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. And again, thanks to my friends at Seed for sponsoring today's video. First up this week, I'm headed to the Goodwill. This is my favorite Goodwill in the Western New York area. So if you are in Buffalo and Western New York, the West Seneca Goodwill in the Southgate Plaza is my favorite. It is clean. Their clothing selection is wonderful too. Look at this really pretty covered pie dish. I love the fruit topping on that. I don't know why I didn't get that. Big stack of False Craft Heritage plates, along with a bunch of False Craft Heritage mugs, which I actually just recently thrifted more of. I love this glass juicer. It was only $1.99, so lots of great finds. My daughter was actually with me too, thrifting for clothes. She loves this Goodwill as well. Found this beautiful top part of a hutch would be fun makeover, but the shelves were stocked today, so lots of good treasures hidden in here. And like I always mention, never pass up the seasonal aisle because you can always find some treasures. I thought this wreath was pretty too, could use a little makeover, but I thought it was pretty. Really big clock was also there too. Then we went to Amvet's, and look at how cute for 49 cents, the little duck. I've been seeing these around lately too. A lot of people collecting them. I thought that was a cute little find. I'm still on the hunt for the chair in the dining room. So of course I'm looking here because this is the Amvet's that I found the top of my hutch last year. So I always find furniture here. Always love looking at blankets and even just sheets for quilting. I like to find those to use for fabric. I thought this chair, for some reason, I was drawn to this chair. I thought it was pretty, but it was kind of high. I thought it was a little expensive. This really pretty sugar. Now, I loved this tea kettle. If it had the lid and if it was a little bit cheaper, I might have gotten it. It was in my cart at one point. I don't know why I didn't get it. Then I went to another Goodwill. This one is also up on Union. And then this one, I always love browsing too. It's a smaller Goodwill. I thought this was kind of pretty, this covered casserole. And like I've shown you before, I'll take like a little picture. I'll show you that too. Again, what I like to do to see if it's got any value. It was a good price. It actually had a little value. I did it when I was in the store, but I don't need another one. Then this pumpkin. Here's another chair. This chair was actually drawn to for the color, but it really needed a lot of love on that one, so I didn't get it. Then I went to Savers. Oh, look at how cute this is. I actually did pick it up. I actually have already hung this up to my coffee bar area. And then I went to the Goodwill near me, which I don't often go to because it's small, but I did pick up some treasures there too. I went to another Goodwill. So this has been a fun week of thrifting, finding lots of treasures. Of course, you know me, I love thrifting baskets. If you need baskets, go to the thrift store. That is where you are bound to find more. And how cute is this tin for Christmas? One of those things where I'm now watching this back going, why didn't I get that? And then I also took a quick little trip down to the Arcade Junction, which is in Arcade, New York. I have a little booth there as well. Always, always, always find treasures because everything in the store is right up my alley, as you can see. Look at how cute this place is. If you are in the West New York area, Arcade Junction in Arcade, New York is a must go to. Look at these treasures. It is so full of so many treasures. I think I've said treasures not 3 times. Prices are phenomenal too. I know if I'm always looking for something, look at, I love this. It was only $17. If it was maybe a little bit cheaper, I might have gotten it. Now looking at it, maybe I'll go back for it. But I love hunting through here. Always find stuff, which I always find this rolled white oats, the Quaker Oats tin. I actually found at the Goodwill bins. But look at these tins. I always love finding tins and crocks and stoneware and pottery, all phenomenal prices. This one I was so drawn to for $14. It was nostalgic. Oh, now I kind of wish I got that too. This has been here for a while, and every time I come in, because it's at the front of the store, I always look at it. And little wheelies, which would be a fun little project, or just finds too. So many treasures that was at the Arcade Junction. I just always love going here, either to check on my booth or just to have some time to thrift because it is so much fun to go to. It was a fun week of thrifting, and looking back, there are definitely a few things I wish I got. And I thought I got the glass juicer, but it's not here. Maybe I misplaced it. I'll have to look to see, because I swore I got that for $1.99. Anyways, let's jump into the haul. In full honesty, if you follow me on Instagram and watch my stories, I did share a few of these things with you. So if you don't follow me on Instagram stories, make sure you do, so you can sometimes get a sneak peek. So I did share these on stories. So if you follow me on stories, act surprised right now. But trust me, there's lots more to see that I haven't shown you. I love collecting cookbooks. In the last thrifting haul, I was showing you the Gooseberry Patch cookbooks I found. This time, look at this one, the Williamsburg cookbook. And you guys know how much I love Williamsburg. I've shared my story and my love for Williamsburg before. Wayne and I lived in Fredericksburg, Virginia. That's where our kids were born. We would go down to Williamsburg all the time. It's just a place that's very near and dear to my heart. So we just love Williamsburg. So when I saw this cookbook, I had to get it. I think it said circa 1970 in it. And actually I was showing on Instagram, there was actually somebody's little, probably like little bookmark that they were using in there too. But just lots of fun recipes, but I love the pictures. So I love getting these cookbooks, not just for the recipes, but the pictures, especially the older ones too. I just love the pictures, and some of the recipes in it too. I haven't had much time to flip through it yet, but I had to get this. Just different recipes. Wayne, when I showed him, he's like, yeah, we definitely need to try some of these recipes out, just for fun. When we took our kids there, we were last down in Virginia visiting, I think it was like 10 years ago. We took them to Fredericksburg, showed them the house that they first lived in, and even took them to Williamsburg too. So I think we are due for a Williamsburg trip. Seeing this cookbook and showing Wayne, we're both like, we're itching to get back there because it's been like 10 years. We love it there. So this was such a fun thrift store find. I forgot to mention the cookbook was $3.99 and then 20% off at Savers, where I got these. It's buy 4, get the 5th free, but I only got 3 this time. The next one I got was this Better Homes and Gardens, this gold one. This one was $5.99 and then 20% off. The reason I got this, I do have like the more updated version of the Better Homes and Garden Binder cookbook. I got it merely for the pictures because it's like circa 1960. And I just, like I've mentioned, love old cookbooks. So I don't know how many recipes are different than in like the more updated version, but it's, for me, like the pictures, I couldn't resist getting it. So it's got all the recipes. I haven't had much time to look through it yet. Oh, there's even meal planning and nutrition. So just another fun thrift store find. I also love church cookbooks. I have one from my church from probably 40 years ago, and I love it. And I actually still follow some of the recipes on it. So this was another one. This Colden is local to us. It's about a 7-minute drive from where we live. It's a really quaint little town. We actually had Easter brunch there last year at the Colden Mill. It's just a cute little town. So this was just a cute cookbook from the local church in Colden, and you can never go wrong with the church cookbook. You get some of the best recipes in them. So look at them all. So I just can't wait to look through this. And this was like dated 1982. And I just feel like recipes used to just be like, I don't know, just so cozy and homey. I always gravitate to these kind of cookbooks and Gooseberry Patch cookbooks when I'm looking for recipe inspo and recipe ideas, because that's just, to me, classic home cooking. This one was $3.99 and then 20% off. I should have found a fourth one and then got the fifth one free, but I was ready to move on and at least spotted these, but just lots of fun recipes. So if you are ever looking for cookbooks, always check the thrift store before you buy one, because you are bound to find many cookbooks thrifting. And by the way, I'm going in no order, just as I have it here on my dining room table. And another thing I love thrifting for, and I always talk about thrifting, are baskets. And it would not be a thrift haul without baskets, right? So I grabbed a few this time. This is the color basket I always love. I talk about it even here in the dining room. Just love this brown color basket. Is just like, I see these, I don't even look, I just usually just grab them. Not like I need another basket, but I love decorating with baskets. You can hang them, you can use them for storage, you can put them everywhere. Like if you're looking at a spot and you're like, what should I put there? Add a basket, boom, you can add some florals in it. For me, you can never have to have many baskets. So I found this one, and actually I've already found a home for it. I'm gonna be putting this on top of our ice nugget machine in our coffee bar area, because I did get that shelf at Savers. We already hung that up because I was antsy and anxious to get that up, and it looks so cute. So I'll show you that, how it looks in our little coffee bar area. This basket was $4.49, and then Savers, again, 20% off when you shop Savers and have a coupon. There you go. And I just love the color, shape, and size of it. And like I said, I already have it on top of our nugget ice machine. It looked a perfect little spot there, just because a nugget ice machine isn't like the best looking thing, but we love our nugget ice machine. It was the best investment I made late last year, because Eden loves ice. She just loves ice, and we were always getting it out of our refrigerator. I finally decided to take the plunge and invest in a nugget ice machine, because I always see them all over the place. So I decided to get one. We love that ice machine. It is just, it's great. If you don't have one, if you wanted one, I definitely encourage you to get one, because I use it like every single day. That thing is constantly running. So I have this on top of it just to kind of like disguise it a little bit, I suppose. So this was one of the baskets that I found thrifting. And then I also found this one, which is very similar to one that I have in my entryway. And I snagged this one as soon as I saw it. This one was $4.90. Oh, this one was $4.49 too. $4.49 also at Savers, so 20% off of this. And what's so funny is I took this big crate. I had a big crate sitting in my kitchen dining area. And I brought it into the dining room when I was doing like the dining room makeover. And so I had this empty space, and I don't like a lot of stuff. I just wanted something very simple. And this was like the perfect thing to put there too. So I've already found a home for this too. And like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm being very selective of what I'm looking for. So when I see something, I'm trying my best to make sure it's got like a purpose or a home, or at least I know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, yes, there are things that I get that I don't know what I'm going to do with yet, but for the most part, I'm trying to be like, okay, I can find a place for this, because I just don't want to be randomly buying stuff and then not knowing what I'm going to do with it. So anyways, this was another basket. Aren't these great? Like I said, if you need baskets, hit up the thrift store, you are bound to find some. And like I mentioned before, this is in no particular order, so there is another basket down here that I gotta show you. I'm just trying to do the stuff that's on the table first. So look at this beautiful picture I found for only $3.99. Then again at Savers, 20% off if you have a coupon, or if you're in like the Savers reward program. I just thought this was such a pretty vase. And then Like I showed you in my last thrifting video, I'll take a picture of it so I can if I want to kind of see if there's any type of value or maybe like, you know, the history of it. I take a picture of it. I use Google Lens. I'll show you right now how I do it. And that will bring up, you know, what it's selling on eBay, Etsy, or if like there's any, you know, posts or anything about it. Let me show you how I do it. So I have my camera on my phone. Let me just log in and I go to Google Lens. So even though I have an iPhone, I still have like the Google Chrome, I guess, or Google on my phone, even though I mostly use Safari, but I use Google Lens for this. So it's called Google Lens. And then I just take a picture of it like so. And then you'll see here, it'll, you know, you can make it bigger if you need to. So there's the picture of it. I don't know if it's zooming in or not. And then I can scroll and see here on eBay, you can see different prices on Etsy, eBay. Here it is, you know, on Etsy, it was $32.95. And so I got it for $3.99. And then the 20% off of that, I did see it won it for $16 on eBay. But at least I know what I like about that is that it's something of value, and that, you know, it's not running any cheaper. You know what I'm, so it's actually got better value if I ever decided like resell it or something, or, you know, I know kind of like if it has any value, I just like to kind of educate myself on it. So that's how I use the Google Chrome or Google Lens for that. So just a little tip if you missed that last time I shared it. So I do that for some items, not every item, but something like, okay, what is this? Or I want to know what it is if I'm not, if I'm unsure. It's a great way to see. So I just thought this was a really pretty picture. I love the detailing on it. It's just really pretty. So this was another thrift store find. And I couldn't pass this up. Look at this beautiful lantern for $3.99. So like I said, I couldn't pass it up. There are some things that I find that I'm not too sure exactly where I'm gonna put it, but I will find a home for it. This was one of them. Like at first I was unsure, but for $3.99, how could I pass it up? It is Better Homes and Garden Hurricane. So it's originally from Walmart. And I'm honestly thinking of putting it behind here on the console table back here with a candle in it to, you know, have just like that cozy candle. I don't have very many candles in here right now. Usually I have like, oh God, it's glowing in here, but I thought it would be a pretty hurricane to put in here with a candle. And this was a Goodwill find for $3.99. And the funny thing is this was a Goodwill that I don't go to that often. It's really close to me, but it's small and it's very hit and miss. But I went in there and actually found a few treasures. So that's what I'm encouraging you. You know, just go. You never know what you're going to find. You could walk out empty-handed, but you had a few minutes of fun and looking, or you walk out with a $3.99 hurricane like this. I could not believe I found this bunny mold for $2.99 at Goodwill. Down at Arcade Junction, I found a few that were not $2.99. Now, granted, those are definitely older and, you know, have value. I don't know the significance of that. Actually, I should check. Talking about checking for $2.99. How perfect for Easter. I love these molds. But let's take a look. This one I didn't check. Let's see. So again, now I'm curious if it's, you know, I'm sure it's just a random old bunny mold. So I just kind of hold it back, take a picture. Sometimes something will come out. Oh wait, it is on something. Vintage 1976. Oh, sorry, this item and shop are currently unavailable, but there was a few pictures of it. 15-ish dollars. Well, here's one that says 1971. So I love doing this. I could do this on everything. Let's see. This one's unavailable too. At least it gives me an idea of maybe like backstory on it. So I thought this was so cute, especially for $2.99 for Easter to tuck somewhere. I love these molds, you know, seasonal ones for Christmas, and then I thought this one was so cute. For $2.99 too, I snagged this up. So just another cute Goodwill find. Again, going totally random as far as what it is or where I got it from. So we now have a Goodwill outlet in the Buffalo area. How lucky do I feel? Because Other than the other Goodwill, it is the closest thrift store to me. I've only been a few times. Now with the Goodwill bins, it is hit and miss and you're literally digging and it's per the pound. And honestly, I didn't think like I walked out of there with that great of a deal. I don't know. But what was so funny is down at the Arcade Junction, I saw these Quaker rolled oat tins. I got this at the Goodwill bin. So I don't, because they weigh everything, you really don't know exactly like what the price was. So I picked it up because they were at the Arcade Junction. Then when I was at the Goodwill bins, I'm like, I just saw this. And so I don't know, like this was one of those things. Here I'm telling you, I'm trying to be more selective at what I buy. This obviously does not go with my neutral color palette, but there are just those things that sometimes you buy that, especially I'm sure this cost me $1, if that, at the Goodwill bins, and it was in a bin. So I grabbed it. I do have a booth at the thrift store. I don't buy these things to resell them at my thrift store or at my booth. The things that I have there are things that I've had for a while that I'm reselling because they just, I've kind of out of that phase. They've, served their purpose. So I really am not into like being a reseller, I guess. But some things maybe like this, I would maybe put there. I don't know. Or like for me, like I get this because I want to have it, just you never know. I may find this might be good in my pantry actually. Because it's not really, this might be a cute little pantry, just accent or whatever. It's those things that, and sometimes I have a hard time parting with things. Like at the moment I part with them, I'm like, why did I get rid of it? So, this is like, I won't part with this anytime soon, but if I had to, at least I know I have an outlet to resell it before I donate it. So this was my only find at the Goodwill bins. I also grabbed this Hearth and Hand galvanized bucket. It even still has the tag on it. So it still even has the Hearth and Hand tag on it. And this was $3.99. Galvanized bucket. I have plenty of buckets, but I just love the size of it. I love the gold trim on it on the top and the bottom. And for $3.99, I think at the Target it was $16.99. That's what the price tag says. But with spring coming up, even if I use this outside in like our dining area or our sitting area, add some flowers to it for $3.99. That's one of those things that you would walk out and go kind of regret not getting. So I couldn't resist getting this at Goodwill. And I also found this beautiful quilt. I don't think it's old by any means, but I love the red, white, and blue. How perfect for, patriotic decor, 4th of July, and decorating. And I just love the pattern on it and the color, the red, white, and blue. Isn't it pretty? It's huge. This was at Savers for $15.99 and then 20% off of that. So like I said, I don't think it's old or anything, but sometimes you just find these really nice quilts. I'm always looking for quilts. It's something I always find at the Arcade Junction. They have a lot of old quilts and I'm always looking at. They're really, really old quilts. This one is not old or anything, but I just loved like the pattern, and for for upcoming Memorial Day, 4th of July, just thought it's kind of cozy too. I still have to wash it, but just another thrift store find. We were checking out of Amvets actually yesterday. I was literally checking out. I only got 2 things there. I was walking out, checking out for $2, and plus Eden got a purse. But then at the checkout, I found this duck decoy. And the girl was like, oh, somebody, decided here earlier they were going to get in there and weren't going to get it. I love duck decoys. I have several. And so I couldn't resist this one. Maybe not the color palette like that I decorate with. I'm thinking about sanding it down. Wayne's like, no. I'm like, yes, but because just to kind of give it more of a neutral tone, give it a little bit of the sheen. But I actually started taking the tag off. It was only $5.99 or $5.98 at Amvets. I started peeling that off because I couldn't wait to see what it said. It's the Hornick Brothers Stony Point decoys in, I think it was Oakwall or Oak Hill, Virginia. So it was $5.98. And I can never pass up a duck decoy that is, under $10. Even if I sand it down. Isn't he a cute little guy? And like I said, he was at the register when I was checking out. I had two things that I'll show you next at the AMVETS. And then I saw this and the girl's like, yeah. I was just like, look, I'm like, oh, look at it. She's like, somebody just had it here after they decided they didn't want it. I'm like, well, obviously it was a sign for me to get it. So this was an AMVETS find. The next two things are my AMVETS finds that I was checking out with. I love picking up these, like, they're actually like plate holders. They're wicker plate holders. This one was only 99 cents. And I like this one because I kind of liked more of like that chunky weave to it. I have a few that are just a little bit of that thinner weave. Now these are great. Obviously they're intended to use for plates, but I like to use them to set them on like the behind something to create that texture. So if you see these at the thrift store, especially for under $1, snag these because they're great on a shelf to kind of add that texture and then add your layering pieces to it. You can even use it as a tray too, but I love these because I'll lean it up against something and it creates that texture behind. And so 99 cents, this was the one thing I got at AMVETS along with, you guys know I love courier knives. I love this tin. I just loved it. I have several courier knife tins, and this is the American Homestead Winter Scene, which is my favorite. Only 99 cents. And I just love decorating with these for Christmas, and so I couldn't pass that up for 99 cents at AMVETS. I still have to find that glass juicer. I swear I got it for $1.99. I don't know where I put it. Anyways, next up, I got these because they were only $3.99 at Goodwill. At the Goodwill that I don't often go to, the one that's close to me that it's small, but I ran in there and I actually got lucky. So it was a set of 4 of these measuring cups for $3.99, and then this was something that I did snap a picture in the store and Google, so they do hold a little bit of value. I thought they were cute to even like hang on a little hook somewhere too. Because I love the neutral colors, of course, but it comes with the cup, the half cup. This is a 3/4 cup, and then the little 1/4 cup. I would definitely want to test them for lead too. I don't think I would actually use them. They're definitely more decorative, but I think hanging them would just look really cute. Don't you? What a cute little thrift store find for $3.99. And that's what I love about thrifting. It's like one of a kind things. Of course, there's, you can find these elsewhere. You can even find them online too. But it's not something you're going to find at the big box stores that, there's, a ton of them. These are unique, different, and that give your home personality. And this was the other basket I picked up because I love the color of this. I love these type of baskets. It was only $3.99 at Goodwill, and Easter is coming up. So if you need baskets before you head to the big box stores, go to the thrift store and you can find some great baskets for Easter baskets too. Yeah, it makes a cute Easter basket, but I love decorating with these because you can hang them, put them everywhere. I have baskets all over the place. You can use them for storage, but I just think they're a great way to, if your space needs something, put a basket, boom, it looks just so pretty. And then of course you can add filler in it or floral stems in it. I have baskets everywhere, and I will still find room for more like this one that I got at Goodwill for $3.99. I thought this was so pretty, especially with Easter. Now I do have like an egg tray, but this one just spoke to me. It was $3.99 at Goodwill. It's vintage. I love that it's got like the little dish inside too for another dip or some, nuts or something else too. And then you can have your deviled eggs around it too. It spoke to me. I had to have it. It was only $3.99. Isn't it pretty? Even the girl, when I was checking out, she just thought it was pretty too. I did snap a picture. Has a little bit of value too. It's not anything that, I'm going to take to the bank, but I always love checking that. And I just thought this was another pretty thrift store find, perfect for Easter too. I almost forgot about these too. Now I did share these on Instagram stories too. Found this beautiful plate. I love the blue. It is Tulip Time. It's a Johnson Brothers. It was $1.99 at Savers and then 20% off. I love how pretty for spring, and that blue is just so pretty. There was only one, so I grabbed that. And then, so the funny story with these, I got these beautiful platters. I love the blue on them. So I saw them there. I didn't get them. I walked around, came back down the aisle, and I saw somebody else looking at them. And don't you hate it when when you saw them first, but then somebody else has them in their hand and they're looking at them? Then you really want it, right? You have to have them. And so she set them down and I snagged them. There's set of 3 platters now. The one was $5.99. And aren't they beautiful? So my mom's got this book with trademarks and registries that she can look up these. And these date back to the late 1800s. Aren't they gorgeous? So there's some marking on there. Let me see. I'm just holding these in my lap because I'm running out of room. So you can see the label, the stamp on it. So there was a small, then there was the medium one. So this was one of the things that I just had to get because it was like that fear of missing out because I had them in I saw them and then I saw somebody else and then I'm like, okay, I have to have them now. This one was also $5.99, again, 20% off because of savers. And then $6.99. Of course, I could have just gotten one and be happy, but I just grabbed them all because, and I did look them up at the store. They do have a little bit of value doing, you know, my Google Lens that I like to do. But I was unsure exactly of the date because of the stamp and the registry. So in the book that my mom has, and I will post a little picture of that book in case you're interested in getting it too, she can look up the stamps and trace it back to the date. Late 1800s, like 1896, 1897. How cool is that? So there is like history in these, and that's what I love when you find these older, late 1800s. To think that these were like late 1800s is just so cool. Am I gonna run to the bank with these? No, they're not like super duper like, you know, valuable. Maybe someday they will, but for me, it's just the history and the stories they tell, to me, is priceless. So I was so happy I found them, and I'm even happier that I ended up going back around and getting them. Thankful to that girl that put them down because I just love the blue, putting them on a plate stand, hanging these. I'm unsure of where I'm gonna put them, but I will definitely find a home for these. Yay, I found it. I knew I got it because I wouldn't pass up a $1.99 glass juicer. Isn't it cute? I love it with the little spout on it. Yeah, I couldn't pass that up. So it was $1.99. The funny thing is it was right here in the cabinet, but I forgot I picked up something else while I was there too. Look at this. This is a Hearth and Hand cookbook holder, and it was only $4.99. I might try to paint this or take that stain off because the color is not exactly what I have in my kitchen, but $4.99 Hearth and Hand cookbook holder. I wanted this at one point when I saw it at Target, so I was excited to find this thrifting for $4.99. So you never know what you're gonna find. It is the thrill of the hunt. So this was another thrift store find. The one thing I didn't find this week thrifting was a chair. I'm still on the hunt for a chair here in the dining room to replace that one. I kind of have a vision of what I'm looking for, and I just know I'm gonna eventually find it. I'm not in a rush, so I'm gonna wait and be patient, and eventually the right chair will come along at the right price. Like I showed a few that I kind of saw that I was tempted to get, but I'm like, no, Jen, don't do it. It's not exactly what you want, or they need a lot of love. And I'm just, you know, waiting because at one point when I least expect it, I'm gonna find it, almost like that chair that I got last year in the living room that I love, that I got for $24. So, you know, if there's something that you are on the hunt for and you don't find it the first time around, you know, it might take months, maybe even years until you find it or eventually come up with it. But, you know, once you do, it'll be so worth the wait. So I'm holding on to hope that eventually I'm gonna find it. At least I have that chair there, and I'm just going to wait until I find one and keep looking and keep thrifting. So this was so much fun and quite the haul. Let me know in the comments what your favorite find of mine was. And I would love to know if you've been thrifting recently, like what's your favorite find that you found recently? Because I always love to know like what you guys are looking for too, or is there something that you are on the hunt for that you are looking for? Like what is something that is on your wish list of thrifting too? It's so much fun. And for me, it's just one of those things where, you know, I just love to grab a coffee and go. And now my daughter Eden, I know at one point I was mentioning, I think just like even a year ago, she would always sit in the car and I'd had to do some power thrifting. And while she still sits in the car sometimes, she also has the thrifting bug too. Now she likes to look more at clothes and accessories. She's obviously not looking at home decor and the things I look at. She's 14, but it's fun that she now enjoys going. And a few of the times that I was out this week, her and her friend were thrifting with me, and it's just fun to have her, you know, come along with me and come inside and not be sitting in the car too. So lots of finds, and I'm ready to jump in the car and do it again and find some new treasures to add to my collection. So I hope this gave you some inspo and encouragement of, you know, looking out and going out thrifting too. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun. And like I mentioned before, you can follow me on all the social media at Mother Time. So whether you're on TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, all of the places. You can just search Mother Time to find me there. On Instagram, on stories, I do a lot of behind the scenes and kind of little sneak peeks and just chit chat and things like that. So if you're on Instagram, make sure to check out my stories or follow me over there too. You can also follow me on my blog, mothertime.com. And if you are new to my channel and you are not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Okay, guys, thanks again for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun. I hope you did too. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.